The city of Austin has evolved rapidly over the past few decades. From a casual, cozy college town to a fast-paced city that's introduced hundreds of new businesses and invited thousands of new residents. But among these many changes is an establishment that has remained a staple of Austin for generations, Dirty Martin's. For 97 years, Dirty Martin's has been serving hamburgers, milkshakes, onion rings, and more, providing a menu that captures the essence of the classic American meal.
My name is Daniel Young. I've worked for Dirty Martin's since September of 2015, so about 7.5 years.
Originally named Martin's Comeback in 1926, John Martin opened the restaurant on the corner of Nueces and Guadalupe, less than a mile away from the UT Austin campus. The restaurant began with a single flat-top grill, an 8-stool bar, and a small drive-thru out front, which is a lot different from the Dirty Martin's we know and love today.
It's a very, very generational place. It is definitely associated with the University of Texas because we're obviously on campus, but it also resonates with really anyone that's lived in the city since the 40s, 50s, 60s. We get a lot of customers that started coming here really as early as the 1930s and 1940s, and folks in their 80s, 90s. We have even a couple customers that are over 100 that have been coming here since, believe it or not, late 1920s. So,
the original Martin's Comeback had dirt floors. In the early 1950s, a concrete foundation was finally poured in, but the customers who were familiar with the dirt floors affectionately began referring to the restaurant as Dirty's, and the name just stuck. Since their renovations in the 1950s, Dirty's has hosted an array of customers like Janis Joplin, Earl Campbell, New Orleans Saint running back, students, faculty, and locals. Old photographs, newspaper clippings, and other artifacts decorate the restaurant's walls, making it a favorite spot for locals and visitors who want to get a flavor of Austin's past. Dirty's is all about tradition and legacy. Their employees are just as iconic as the restaurant itself, with employees who have been a part of Dirty's family for more than 2 decades.
My name is Will Colvin. I've been here 27 years minus COVID, and I started out here just basically wanting to, get caught up on some bills and be here 90 days. And, it turned out to be almost 3 decades. So,
the current owner, Mark Namir, has a personal connection to this place. Owned for over 34 years, Namir's Dirty's has been passed down and under different management, once by his grandfather, then Cecil Picken in 1954, and was brought back by Namir in 1989.
It's a real family. There's, believe it or not, 4 cooks that have all worked here over 20 years. Same 4 guys, and I have an assistant manager that's been here 12 years, and the owner has been here 33 years. So we're all pretty used to hanging around each other every day. So it's kind of like a huge family. It's an old school type of this family. And the customers all know us too. I know probably 200 or 300, 400 customers by their first name, and I know some of their families. And I've got a wife and kids, but this is my second family, no doubt. Yeah. So I grew up coming to Dirty's. I rode my bike here as a kid when I was like 7 or 8, 9 years old. Me and my brother, and I had I was working a corporate hotel. I had a good job in a hotel working as a director, but this is where I need to be. This is my calling, is running a old school, just family restaurant. I bleed burnt orange. I love the University of Texas, and it's an honor and privilege for me to be able to run this thing every single day. It's what I was meant to do.
As Dirty's approaches their 100-year anniversary, an unprecedented threat has stirred uncertainty in the Dirty Martins family and its supporting community. They discovered that the beloved establishment is at risk of being destroyed to make way for a rail line that will run through Guadalupe Street.
We found out in October of 2021. It's very scary. Obviously, eminent domain basically means that they can seize our property. It's in the Constitution. So we were really kind of in the dark for a while. We actually didn't even release the news to the public for about 6 months. We released it a little over a year ago. And since then, we've just kind of started the Save Dirty's campaign. I started a petition, and then most recently we have a bill that's at the state legislature that kind of just says maybe we should put this back on the ballot so the folks in Austin have a lot more information about in terms of how much it's going to cost. People's taxes are going to go up. There's going to be a lot of people displaced. The estimate is 300,000 people in Austin are going to be displaced, and just on this strip of road, 15 businesses are going to be are going to be gone. Us, Whataburger, In-N-Out, that Exxon, the Taco Shack, there's 2 restaurants down there, Sipfo and a Greek restaurant, and the couple thrift stores on the other side of 29th Street. So it's something that people, and this is just this small strip of road. So it's important. I feel like, and that's why I've been so adamant about this bill, just to get the word out to the Austin voters. Do you want to pay this much in taxes? And do you realize that a lot of places like Dirty Martins, that's been here 97 years, there's not a lot of old restaurants left, especially something like this on campus.
This has been around a long time. This is a place where Janis Joplin used to go. Mm-hmm. A famous musician. To say the least. It's close to the UT campus, so we get flooded with UT athletes who are famous, mm-hmm. and students. That are famous. It's just, you think about the University of Texas and how many people they've had. Michael Dell, Walter Cronkite, Farrah Fawcett. Just to say the least, that went to University of Texas and was a part of University of Texas, and all the historical landmarks that surround this area. We are one of them, and we've been here a long time, and we deserve to stay here.
We'll know a lot more by the end of May, and I think we'll have a final decision probably by September. So we're not preparing for closure. We're going to defend ourselves till the end, and if we have to go, then we'll go. But we're not. We're gonna defend ourselves. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, till the very, very, very end. Everyone's been really supportive, and we have 36,000 signatures, and it's been really cool. Obviously, a lot of the old Austin folks have rallied around us that have been coming here, but it's been great to see the students, kids y'all's age that are not kids, y'all are young adults, but young adults rallying around us. We have 13 banners hanging up all over I counted the other day, we're passing out these Save Dirty's banners. So I'm seeing student organizations hanging those in front of their houses or businesses, and between now and September is when we really have to just keep fighting, and we need an army of people. We're going to need 50, 100,000 people to keep the fight going. Austin needs places like this. There's been so many quintessential restaurants in the past. I can't think of all of them right now, but there's been 5, 6, 7 restaurants, and even in the past 5 years, that have been closed because of high rental prices, and the more Austin seems to grow, the more the little guy kind of gets squeezed out.
We have stood the test of time since the 20s, and that says a lot in itself. And we shouldn't be forced out because of this railroad you know, Train Track, you know, Project Connect. I mean, however you want to say it, it's just wrong, you know, and something that I'm really not pleased with. To be, you know, have to come to work every day wondering, wow, I may be out of this job. I might lose a place that I've been coming for 27 years, you know, and have to start doing something different. You know, I've met a lot of people here. I've created a lot of relationships with people that I've met throughout the years, and for that to be no longer, you know, just be just a memory, that hurts, you know.
My dream is that we get to stay and we don't become a train stop, and that all of the employees that work here get to stay and we get to live another 100 years.
Dirty Martin's represents a long history of Austin culture, Austin community, and of course, the classic Austin meal. For nearly a century, this establishment has prided itself on delivering the best burger in Austin in a comforting and nostalgic environment. With the uncertain future of Project Connect and countless businesses at risk of destruction, we need to push to keep Austin dirty.
Keep Austin dirty.